Why the Japanese live longer and keep walking at 90. Have you ever seen a 90-year-old man briskly walking down the street and thought, how do they stay like that? I have, and more than once. In Japan, that sight isn't rare. Elderly folks still walk to the market every morning, climb stairs without holding onto railings, and tend to their vegetable gardens like it's a sacred ritual. It's not about genes. It's not some stroke of luck. They have a secret, and it lies in how they live each day. I remember my first visit to Okinawa, a place often called the Blue Zone of Asia. I came expecting to meet people who had lived past 90. But what surprised me wasn't their age on paper, it was their bodies, their spirits, their eyes so full of life. No gyms, no high-tech health devices, no $100 supplements, just simple habits repeated every morning, gentle, steady, and surprisingly powerful. If you're listening and hoping for a life that's not just longer but healthier, more independent and less dependent on others, then you're exactly where you need to be. Stay with today's episode where I'll be sharing 5 morning lifestyle secrets that help Japanese seniors stay resilient well past 60, and how you can begin adopting them tomorrow. And don't forget to hit subscribe to Wellness Unfolds. Each week you'll get a gentle but powerful dose of inspiration to live well, live deeply, and live fully after 60. Welcome to Wellness Unfolds, where I, Dr. Sam Wells, will help you reimagine aging. Today we're diving into the secret of the Japanese still walking at 90. Why Japan has the highest life expectancy in the world. There's a number that fascinates the world. The average life expectancy for Japanese women is about 87 years, and for men about 81. These numbers don't lie. But what impresses me even more is the quality of life behind them. I've met 88-year-old women in Kyoto who still walk to the market every morning chatting with vendors, then quietly return home to prepare light meals with grilled fish, seaweed, and seasonal vegetables. And they don't see this as an effort. To them, it's simply life. Japanese people live in remarkable simplicity. Not the kind born of poverty, but of mindful restraint. They eat less, but enough. They move every day, not by hitting the gym, but through daily tasks, gardening, sweeping the porch, cycling to the post office. Small movements done consistently over years. And that consistency keeps their bodies agile well into old age. But perhaps the greatest factor behind their longevity isn't in the vegetables or their legs, it's in their mindset. The Japanese have a philosophy called Ikigai, loosely translated as the reason you wake up each morning. For one person, it might be tending to a bonsai tree by the door. For another, packing lunch for their grandchild. Ikigai doesn't have to be grand. It just needs to be there. And when people have a strong enough reason to live, they often live longer, deeper, and more joyfully. Moreover, Japanese society encourages seniors to stay involved in the community. They walk to parks each morning, meet friends, join tea ceremony groups, arrange flowers, or tell stories to neighborhood kids. These daily interactions aren't just comforting, they're medicine for the brain and soul. So in Japanese culture, longevity isn't an accident. It's the outcome of a way of living. Do you have a reason why you want to live a long life? Not just to exist, but to actually live. To walk on your own legs, to talk with the people you love, to tend your garden, or simply to hear the birds singing in the morning. I believe that if you can answer that question, you've already found your own secret to longevity. Let me tell you a story. Simple but surprisingly powerful. It's about Mr. Yamamoto, a 91-year-old man living on the outskirts of Tokyo. Every morning, rain or shine, he walks 3 kilometers. He's done this regularly for more than 30 years. He started when he retired at 60 and told his wife, I want to keep my legs alive for at least 20 more years. But then 20 years passed and now it's 30, and those legs are still going strong. I met him for the first time while he was walking down a small path by the park. His back was straight, his steps firm, his arms gently swinging in rhythm, and his eyes sparkled like a man in his 60s. He didn't use a walker. No one was holding him. It was just him, and legs that were never neglected. When I asked for his secret, he smiled and said something I'll never forget. If you can still walk, you're still alive. For him, it wasn't about how far he could go. It was about still wanting to take that next step every day. He told me he never sat still for too long. Every 45 minutes, he'd get up and walk around a bit. He kept his meal times and bedtime as regular as clockwork, never letting his body go sluggish. And he always believed your body is like a flame. You have to keep it burning through movement. It sounds simple, but I know many of us have forgotten that. I often wonder, why is it that in Japan people like Mr. Yamamoto are not rare? While in the US, where I've worked for years, so many people in their 70s already depend on walkers, wheelchairs, or just sit quietly in front of a TV every day. It's not genes, it's not medicine, it's lifestyle. The Japanese don't wait until they're sick to start moving. They move so they won't get sick. They don't rely on pills to fix things. They heal through small habits. Most of all, they don't see walking as exercise. They see it as life. How about you? Are you walking for your health, or waiting for the day when you have to walk because you're forced to? Join me as we explore 5 habits that help Japanese seniors keep moving into old age. You know what impresses me the most about the Japanese after all these years? It's not how long they live. It's the quality of life they maintain as they age. At 80, they can still bend down to tie their shoes, ride a bicycle to the market, take the subway without needing help. Their bodies don't just live long, they live well. Why is that so? It's not because they go to the gym. It's not because they take some special supplements. It's because they've built 5 incredibly simple habits, and they practice them daily like breathing. Habit number 1, gentle morning walks. The interesting thing is, they don't call it exercise. They call it a way of living. They walk not to count steps or hit fitness goals, but to stay connected to life, to admire the flowers, greet neighbors, hear the birds, feel the changing seasons. Walking becomes part of the spirit, not just physical movement. Habit number 2, sitting on the floor and getting up several times a day. Did you know that the simple act of rising from a floor-sitting position is one of the best exercises for your knees? In Japan, chairs are less common. People sit, eat, and sleep close to the floor. Every time they get up, their knees, ankles, and lower back stay active. This quiet habit helps joints stay flexible with age. Habit number 3, eating light, following the philosophy of Harahachi Bu. They stop eating when they're about 80% full. It's not about restriction, it's about self-awareness. They believe that to live long, the stomach should never be completely full. In fact, this habit reduces inflammation, eases pressure on the liver and kidneys, and prevents organ decline due to excess metabolism. Habit number 4, no sleeping in, waking up early, and living with rhythm. Most elderly Japanese wake up before 6 a.m. They respect their body's natural clock, sleeping on time, waking on time, eating on time. That steady rhythm creates inner balance, from hormones to digestion to emotional well-being. Habit number 5, staying socially active every day. A friend of mine in Kyoto, 82 years old, still joins a book club every week. They read, chat, and laugh together. These regular meetups don't just keep the mind sharp, they help the body stay agile too. When your spirit feels young, your body tends to follow. They don't isolate themselves. They still step outside, greet neighbors, stay curious. From a health perspective, all these habits have one thing in common. They keep the joints moving, the muscles active, and the circulation flowing. When you walk, sit down, and stand up, eat moderately, sleep regularly, and stay socially engaged, you're doing what no medication can, helping your body stay vibrant down to the cellular level. Please remember this. Old age doesn't decide whether you're alive or just surviving. Your daily habits do, and you can start tomorrow morning. If someone comes to mind, maybe a loved one living quietly or a friend struggling with mobility, maybe they're the one who needs to hear this. Share this podcast episode with them as a gentle reminder that there is still hope, that there are still simple ways to live healthily and independently. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to Wellness Unfolds. Together, we're building a future where aging is something to embrace, not fear. How can this apply to Americans? You might be thinking, but Japan is different. The food, the culture, the environment. How can we live like them here in the US? The truth is, you don't have to live in Okinawa to learn how to live longer. Because the key to their longevity isn't where they live. It's how they live, and anyone can change their habits. Start with something simple. Get up from your chair every 30 minutes. Set a reminder if you need to. Stand, stretch, walk a few steps around the house. It's a tiny action, but it can slow joint deterioration, boost circulation, and help clear your mind. After dinner, instead of heading straight to the couch, take a slow stroll around the yard or down the hallway. No need to go fast, just be consistent. One more thing I find remarkable is the idea of ikigai. The reason you wake up in the morning. For someone in Japan, it might be gardening, seeing friends, or making tea for their spouse. What about you? Is there something that reminds you you're still alive? Is there something that makes tomorrow feel worth waking up for? Ask yourself. Do I want to still be walking when I'm 90? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't start at 89. It starts today, with small, steady steps and a belief that your body is worth caring for. Are you ready to change just one small thing tomorrow? Old age doesn't have to be the end. It can be the most vibrant stage of life, if you still have steady steps, deep breaths, and a heart that wants to keep going. The Japanese don't live long because of magic. They live long because of the most ordinary things: walking every morning, eating just enough, going to bed on time, and having a reason to get up. And you can do those things too, right in your own home with your own 2 feet and a heart that won't stop moving. Don't let your body be forgotten. Don't let your final years be just about getting by. Live long and live with meaning. And if this podcast touched something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your partner, your children, your elderly neighbor. Because one small step today could change an entire future. You're listening to Wellness Unfolds, where aging doesn't mean weakness. I'm Dr. Sam Wells. Follow the podcast now so that every week we can have one more conversation to help you live longer, stronger, and with more meaning. See you in the next episode.